Obviously the 7 that played last year, and then I think Quentin Wilson's had a really good camp. So starting to work him a little bit more at guard too. He's been playing a lot of center, and so working him kind of at all three interior spots now to try to develop an eighth, guy there with him. And then I think there's 9 and 10 are coming around the corner, but there's still some development to go with guys like Nick Lewis and Kenneth Horsey, Austin Dotson. I mean, I think they're getting a lot closer than they've been, and we just got to keep bringing them along.
Darian said learning the right side of the line is like being left-handed and trying to figure out how to be right-handed. You think he's a pretty good right-handed guy so far?
Oh yeah. His ceiling is really high, man. He's a talented player. It's sometimes I got to still remind myself that it's only his second year. He didn't redshirt, and he's still seeing some of the things for the first time ever. And so I got to, continue to remind myself of that. But I think he's doing a really good job on the right side. I think he's just going to continue to grow and get better. I like what I see out of his game and consistency. With a young guy, it's just consistent. It's eliminating those really bad negative plays that are going to hurt the offense. And that's for him or any other young guy for that sake, and old guys. You can't have those bad negative plays that set us back.
You guys recruit a lot of guys on the offensive line who can play multiple positions. What was it about Quentin that made you think he'd be pretty good at guard?
Quentin in high school reminded me a lot of Bunchy in high school. All right, he played multiple positions in high school. He played center, guard, tackle. He's very athletic, smart. He's got a high football IQ. So I think there's some similarities between those two. And obviously at that point, I liked what I saw out of Bunchy, and so I thought, hey, this is a guy that I feel like can come in here and do some of the same type of things. And so far he's done that.
You used the word smart that Drake actually told us about Quentin too. It said he's kind of an animist up there. He really appreciates watching him work in that regard.
For sure. I mean, he is a smart guy. I mean, he's a straight A student, or very close to a straight A student, and I mean, the guy is super sharp out there on the field, And it's one thing to just be smart and be able to see things on film or on the board, but it's another thing when it's in a live setting and it's coming, and you got milliseconds to make a decision and make a call that puts us all in a good situation. And he's got the ability to do that. He's smart. He's to the point where he can see things before they're happening, make a certain call for the offensive line that puts us at an advantage instead of at a disadvantage.
Is that an underrated aspect of the center
Certainly.
position?
It's huge for the center position. Because, there's certain plays that if we have one call on, it could be a real bad situation for us. If we get into another call, it may go for a touchdown. So having a guy in there that has the ability to do that is very important at that position. And that's why it's critical to have, smart guys, but also guys with real high football IQs that can see things out there on the field.
Would you say your unit in general is just ahead of schedule at this point, or is it kind of about what
I don't know what schedule is, to be honest with you. I know we got to continue to make a lot of progress. You know what I'm saying? We're into, I think today was day 10, maybe 11. And so we've got just as many more of those practices left before that first game, and we've got to iron out a lot of details of it. So I don't ever try to think about just take it day by day, man. What do we do today? And a lot of times, you got certain issues that pop up, in terms of this hurt us today or that hurt us today. You focus more on that, you fix it, and then off to tomorrow, and something else comes up. That's kind of the life of a lineman. So you just got to continue to work through all those scenarios. We're seeing a lot of things from our defense right now in terms of schematically, the things that they're giving us, things that we're going to see at certain points of this year in various games, which is great experience for us. At times it's not pretty for us right now because it's the first time we're seeing it this year. Whereas when we're preparing for a game, we're going to rep it over and over and over that week, and we should be really prepared and ready for it on Saturday. And right now they're hitting us with some things that's really good for us to see, but we're struggling a little bit at times. So you'd like to see that pick up.
Greg said you're preaching consistency right now. Are you happy with the consistency? Is that something you're just guarding against? Maybe?
No, that's just something that you always want to preach. You got 5 guys. If one we can go 80% and it's a horrible play. If one guy messes up for us, usually you think 80% is not a bad deal. If I'm shooting 80%, I'm doing something right. You know what I'm saying? And with us, a lot of times it's not that case. That's not the case. So you can't have guys that are one guy messes up here, a different guy messes up on the next play. It's 80%, but it's a bunch of bad plays because different guys are screwing up at different times. So that's where the consistency comes into play.
How are some of these new guys that you guys signed adjusted to this?
Good. I think really good. I really like what I see out of Eli Cox, Jake Pope. obviously those guys that redshirted. We got some walk-on guys that came in that I feel like are really getting some, Ryan Bryant and those guys, and they're getting some really good quality reps right now. Reps that they got to take advantage of, because at a certain time you got to make decisions, and if those guys end up, if they do go to the scout team and they don't get those offensive reps, they're always playing, they're always repping the other team's offense. So they got to take advantage of learning our offense and getting that thing down now, before those reps run out and they're running scout team or whatever. So, but I feel like they're all getting in there and battling, doing a good job. Game's a little fast for all of them, as you would expect, but their energy and their effort's been really good, and that's what we ask them every day.